mind is okay. She off your mind, like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego the political, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego die the political, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego die the political, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. This man not the off in mind, oh,
yeah. Good evening to you. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live, and you can share the broadcast as you are joining. Thank you.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Máyégún máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Thank you so much for joining me. And yes, if you have the opportunity of seeing the notification that Mayegun is live, yes, this is live. And thank you again for joining me. Share the broadcast, invite your friends, and then we will hit the road running. We're already late.
Àníyàn súnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Thank you.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àníyàn súnra kì í.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àníyàn súnra kì í.
Thank you so much for joining me. For those who received the live notifications. And then for those who are still going to join us later, probably when you decide to watch the broadcast from the beginning, you will see this your own greetings. So thank you very much. Yesterday, we spoke about the fire incident at Next Cash and Carry in Abuja. And we saw the video of the burning mall. Also, we saw people who looting the place. Police actually arrested some. But you see, after that broadcast, we realized that there were other Nigerians there too, whose efforts in running in out of that building was to rescue whatever they could rescue. And in the process, everything they could salvage from the building were left just outside the compound. And so we should give them the credit for that. So when it all started, it was this video. Yeah. Then this. Yes. Then afterward, later in the evening, this video surfaced where most of what they, salvaged from the building were left in the compound. For the record.
Oh, can you imagine? It wasn't even recording. Allah. So all the goods that you saw that were being looted, this is where they were being brought. Okay? They were trying to salvage as many goods as possible, because the fire had been on for a while. So all those things that you saw in trolleys that they were dropping, they were bringing them and dropping them here to save as many products as possible. This is just a shadow of what they could have saved in that place if they had found out this fire had started earlier. But these are the goods, okay? They were not being done. There was no actual looting going on. They were helping them to bring out as many things as possible to drop in this heat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our sister who made that video. So, for those who did this, their patriotic and humanly, response in this manner is highly commendable. And we say thank you to them. And we hope whenever there is a crisis like that, not just fire, if you have any breakout crisis in your community, protect the business centers in your community. Do what you can, to save them from arsonists, from looters, and what have you. So, because if any business in your community is looted or destroyed, they are not just only going to take away jobs, which is most essential, or let me say, they are not just going to, business is not just going to lose money, or insurance is not just going to have to cover that, but they won't cover your jobs, possibly the service that you also enjoy in that community. You are likely going to do without them for a while. So if you have essential stores, outlets in your various community where you live, you know what I mean? Whenever crisis breaks out, join the team that will salvage whatever they can salvage, that can protect that place, because you won't just be protecting the business, you'll be protecting, jobs, you'll be protecting the service that most people actually lives on, rather than having to go miles to get them. So thank you very much. Also, a quick update. The man that got abducted, arrested, or let me say abducted stroke arrested by the Imo State Police Command, lawyer, so the governor of the state, in their political, rivalry that many of you have now come to an update that indeed most of the insecurity going on in eastern Nigeria can be traced to these characters, these political characters from that part of Nigeria. Well, the update is that Uche Nwosu has been released. So whatever could have been the problem, that he was never invited, according to him, and then the police had to go and arrest him or abduct him in a Gestapo style during church service yesterday. So he got released, and he said they are trying to link him up or link him with the political crisis, insecurity in eastern Nigeria. I just want you to pay attention, okay? Because I am somebody, the reason why you have Mayegun's diary is because some of you or some of us loves putting or keeping records in your diaries, different ones every year. And you probably have them all stored up somewhere. I don't have such a privilege. So I chose Mayegun's diary political to keep record of political events, actors, decisions, because I believe so much in consequences, good or bad, for every action everyone takes. Either as an individual, in your individual capacity, in a corporate capacity, or in this case, in a country, as in a capacity as somebody in charge of a country. So Mayegun's diary keeps those records. Criminals always, when they plot their scheme, and they have drawn millions of people into their untimely death, some of them not physically. Most people are walking ghost with what politicians have done to Nigerians, especially in the last decade, 10 years, majorly the 7 years of that from this corrupt, murderous government that never takes any responsibility. When they do the damage, they turn around to present themselves as a solution, most of the time as your messiahs, because they are part of the game. They understand the game according to them, even though this is a life and death of a thing, but to them, it's a game. So the reason why we keep the record is for you to identify and never get carried away by emotion or whatever else that Nigeria thrown at you, which most of the time are enabled by our general problem, which is the Stockholm syndrome. The Stockholm syndrome that makes you completely forget the trauma brought upon you by these rogues. So Amaechi made a statement today, not today, I think it was yesterday. It became an headline all over Nigeria. And for those who are really used to these these fraudsters in charge of Nigeria, whatever Nigeria is facing right now is the consequences of their actions and inactions in the last 7 years. And for these 7 years, they have always been shifting the goalposts, passing the buck, passing the blame. They have never been responsible for anything. In their latest statement, Amaechi said, the reason why you have insecurity in Nigeria is because of the failures of Goodluck, Jonathan. He also said the reason why Nigerians are poorer today in poverty is because Goodluck Jonathan's government stole everything they could steal. And in fact, what they left for Nigeria was, would not by any means sustain Nigeria for 3 weeks. But because Nigerians mostly suffer from what I call the Stockholm syndrome, or what everyone knows as a Stockholm syndrome. Some people live in in denial. Sometimes some of them live in selective amnesia. So that is, they know the truth, but they can avoid it because it's going to hurt somehow. But we still have to say it, because the mumbo jumbo of why Nigeria will never work, like Amaechi said, Nigeria is not working. Nigeria can never work. Nothing they do. He said even if they break Nigeria into 6, Nigeria will never work. He was right. Because nobody takes responsibility. No one is responsible. 7 years ago, which we can say was December 2014, the rogues who worked and help Goodluck Jonathan to the point of no return, and decided to bury him and bury whatever he thought he was doing in the name of one Nigeria. Then jumped ship, they jumped their ship, and then they now turn around to say they were the savior. And indeed, they got the job. Amaechi was one of them. There's something about politicians telling you that they meet empty treasuries. Especially in the case of Nigeria, they've always met empty treasury. But records contradict that. Because if truly, because they met empty treasury and they met no money, is the reason why you, Nigerians, are having to face this hell on earth experience in the hands of APC, Egbekegbe. The level of injustice, the level of human rights abuses, the level of corruption, monumental corruption that has never been seen before in the history of that place, the indebtedness and capital, the level of insecurity, the irresponsibility, the collusion of the people in government with those who came to kill, destroy Nigerians, whether you are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fula, whatever you are. As long as you are in that country, you are prone to be destroyed. But yet, the decisions and the indecisions of this rogue has claimed hundreds of thousands of deaths, of lives. But they don't want to be responsible for that. So I said, if by 2014, Nigeria was presumably, or should I say, factually, because they pushed some data to back that up at the time, Nigeria was rebased, and they said Nigeria was the biggest economy in Africa with the net worth of I don't know, maybe now net worth of over $500 billion. And indeed, you could tell that even though Nigerians saw corruption at the worst level, the aggrandizement of those in PDP with Goodluck Jonathan, including his own wife, stinkingly corrupt enough that you can possibly still walk about and claim and then try to say, well, my rights cannot be trampled upon. You can stand up and group anywhere, and more so, you are not so intimidated of death or imprisonment for speaking up against Goodluck Jonathan at the time. But despite all those corruption or whatever allegation, the primary reason why many actually thought maybe Nigeria could have a chance, for those who believed in the lies without looking at the surface, or for those who are looking at the surface, but they are not looking at under the table of those who make up those Messiah team, APC. But for the first time, people thought, well, maybe there could be this reigning rearrangement all over the political space of Nigeria. Goodluck Jonathan and many of them will have to go to jail. But what they didn't tell you is this. Obasanjo started an account, and they called the account excess crude account. And the purpose of the excess crude account was that if Nigeria says, or the Nigeria economists, I don't know who project that to, if they say the crude oil for next year, we're going to put our benchmark at $50 per barrel. On that base, so the amount of amount of barrels that will be sold a day, a week, a month, a year will be estimated by that estimate. That will now be the template. Mostly, the government of Nigeria will now build their next year budget. Right? Among other things. Now, if that next year now come, and a barrel of crude oil is sold for $100 a barrel, that means Nigeria prepared for $50 and they want to live with that, but now they're making extra 50. So if Nigeria make $10 billion from crude oil sales, right, or projected to make 10 billion, In the process, they make double. That's 20 billion. Obasanjo now suggested that, you see that money, don't share it. Just let's put it somewhere else. At some point, that account they created, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, that account had a total amount of $25 billion. Over time, the Obasanjo was there. One of the good things he did. But because he failed in building leadership in others, he thought he was the only one who could actually fix Nigeria because he's the only one who knows Nigeria better. He never planned on any successor. That is one of the things that led to this level now in Nigeria. But back to the story. Obasanjo built that account. So when Obasanjo was leaving government, Obasanjo left something around 21 point something billion dollars in that account. Yar'Adua came in. By the time Yar'Adua did his own government for those 3 years that he was mostly sick, the depleting of that money finally got the money down to somewhere around 9 or so billion. No, hang on. It got the money down to 14 billion, I remember. $14 billion. Jonathan took over. By the time Jonathan was handing over government to Buhari, Jonathan handed over that account with a balance of somewhere around $7.5 billion. That is the first reference that Buhari met money. $7.5 billion. Though that money, excess crude account, is not owned by the federal government. The federal government owns 51% of the money, while the state government, just like the normal sharing formula, the state government and local government will share 49% of that money. However, when APC government took over, they met 7.5 billion in that account. Same thing with the, what do you call that one? Your foreign account, the Nigerian foreign account. Please give me a name. I keep mixing that up because of the terms of the names. Tell me, what do you call it? What do you call that your account outside Nigeria? They call your foreign, where they keep your money. One word. Thank you. 45 billion he left in that Nigeria's foreign account. I need the name. Foreign reserve. Yeah, that's the name. The term, right? They call it foreign reserve. It's like, when you make surplus money, after your budget, everything is met, you put some away. Just to build confidence in lenders that in case if Nigeria would need some credit and all of that, to get some loan or borrow money, your foreign reserve would determine how much the lenders will probably charge you as interest. If you are doing well, you have a lot. China, according to what we have been told, they say China gets a foreign reserve in the range of over $10 trillion. So something like that puts China in a very massive, mighty stand. Yeah. Obasanjo left 45 billion there. 45 billion. By the time Jonathan was to hand over power to Buhari, the entire money left in that foreign account, that foreign reserve, was $31 billion. 31 billion. So between Yar'Adua and Jonathan, they depleted the money down to 31 billion. So when they handed over power to Buhari, for 6 straight months, Buhari, Babashir Lawal, is that his name? Yeah, Babashir Lawal, the grass cutter. This one that died, Abba Kyari, and couple of handful northern trusted aides, they were those in charge of Nigeria. So for 6 straight months, according to Amaechi, the money left for them could not survive or sustain Nigeria for 3 weeks. How did Amaechi know? Now, within the 6 years of their government, that external reserve, Buhari's government, for the first time since Obasanjo's days, for the first time, some money was added to the excess crude account. And immediately, and if you ask me how much, it was $350 million. That is, they projected that the crude oil was going to be this. Yeah? And then it was more. Eventually, that year, they saved $350 million. But ladies and gentlemen, before I even get to that too, during the Goodluck Jonathan's 5 years, that crude oil was being sold for as high as $120 a barrel, and Nigeria's budget benchmark per barrel was between $50 and $70 per barrel. Goodluck Jonathan did not save a dime in that excess crude account. From 14 billion, they depleted it down to half, 7.5 billion. That is one of the excuses that the likes of Buhari, APC, and co, they always love to hold on to, passing the blame. But what did they do? I'll tell you. The excess crude account jumped from $7.5 billion to $7.85 billion. $350 million added. It didn't take them 6 months after adding that money. They depleted the money down to $1.5 billion within their first 3 years. The last one they took was the trip they made to America to go and see Donald Trump. How many of you remember that? 2019. That was the deal that they made in buying the Tucano jets to fight terrorists in Nigeria. Guess where they took the money? From the excess crude accounts. 1 billion. By that time, the balance in that account is no longer more than probably $70 million as we speak. So, here is another pointer to tell you that these rogues and criminals who would never be men enough to stand up and be responsible for once. Because I'll tell you the consequences of all of that. The narrative that the likes of Amaechi will try to change. Despite all of the corruption allegation and those ones in public, those ones not in public, open to Buhari. There was never a time that his government even invited Jonathan for questioning, something you would expect. In the way these guys said they are coming to clean the system. How can you clean a system that you are part of the debt? But again, no, you see, there is also a story you need to know. Depleting the excess crude account from 14 point something billion down to 7.5 billion, it wasn't the unilateral decision like Buhari has done so far. It was this same Amaechi and Adams Oshiomhole, governors of Rivers State and Edo State, and governor of Lagos State, Fashola, that took Jonathan to court. That Jonathan must share that money in that account. So when they asked them why, they said they have received an intel that Jonathan has already started spending that money because they are finding it difficult to pay salary around that time. And true to it, yeah, Jonathan's government was already struggling to pay salary. One of those things these guys cashed on. And they said, since the money in excess crude account belonged to all Nigeria, not federal government, Jonathan must share it. My brothers and sisters, they went to court and they got a judgment. And Jonathan said, well, okay, fine. If I'm going to share the money, we cannot share everything. So within 4 years, they managed to make Jonathan share $7 billion to them, all of them. You know, Jonathan's government will take 51%. The remaining 49%, change it to naira, went to them. What's the result? So Jonathan was never questioned. To this day, now red cap. In fact, it is a photo op, a sort of a kind of show of one Nigeria to deceive the gullibles. Whenever Jonathan's going to the villa, you know, the joy, the happiness, the feeling that you see in them. That is not the feeling you see in people who care about people who die when they were sharing those money. So Amaechi, the governor, ensured that before he finally crossed over to, and they started APC, they shared half of that money. And when Buhari came, none of the state governors asked question about the excess crude account. How did that money just disappear? None of them had they don't have the liver. They don't have this, well, because they are all thieves. Who would ask Buhari question and they won't pick him up the next day? They know it. So Amaechi finally got appointed as minister. All of the criminals who chop and clean mouth in PDP, before you know it, they all started crossing over to APC. Those who refused to cross, they started picking them up as the poster men or poster boys and girls for fighting corruption. But guess what? Underneath, they were depleting, they were looting like tomorrow won't come, to the point that they got to a point of printing money to satisfy their insatiable lust for this colorful paper. Amaechi and gang finally got appointed. Oshiomole became the party chairman of APC. You know the story. But 7 years down the line, Nigerians are poorer because the intention is not to make you kind of better off in order to have the privilege or the strength of challenging them. That is going to be counterproductive for them. So I keep asking, with what they told us about the PDP Jonathan, when they came in and they said they were going to ensure that every penny they stole from you will be recovered. What they didn't tell you or tell many of you then was, when they recovered those they can recover, and write those they can write, and write off those they can write off, you would only hear about them, you would never see them. And that's exactly what happened. So let's begin to let's begin to pinpoint their own action, which Amaechi himself is not spared. Their actions that has led into the extreme poverty you have in Nigeria today, including the insecurity that you experience in Nigeria today. Something that the likes of Amaechi would never take responsibility for. Let's start with Amaechi himself. He became a minister of transportation. He is supposed to be a Nigerian, somebody from Niger Delta, who was once the speaker of the House of Assembly, Rivers State. He became the governor of Rivers State. Then he became the driver to El Rufaya, the Kaduna Little Fingers. Then afterward, he became a minister, a vuvuzela, an ass licker, a complete disaster, total disappointment. And people have a name for him. He is popularly known as, you know, the what's that his place again? I just quickly forget that. Judas Iscariot is the popular one they gave to him. Somebody who sold his own birthright for whatever is worth, which we have now found out is worth just a plate of porridge. Ubima, Judas Iscariot. That's the name they gave to him. Amaechi became the Minister of Transportation. And you would expect somebody like him, who once managed as governor, manage almost all the ministries that you can find in the same federal government establishment. He became a Minister of Transportation. And his own first idea of revolutionizing the transportation industry or the transportation sector in Nigeria was first to, one, begin to take an unimaginable loans from China and then channel those loans into ridiculous projects like Kano to Maradi rail line, where Nigeria has no money. Listen, Nigeria has no money to build any rail line, not even within Nigeria, except for those ones that Goodluck Jonathan himself probably, signed, the loans that he signed and then got renegotiated by these crooks with China. Except for that, Amaechi launched what he called National Rail, wherever. But you see that one that has to go from Kano to Maradi. Maradi is in the Niger Republic, where Buhari's father came from, the Baba Onikpepeye, for some of you who knows his father, And they were going to borrow $4.9 billion from China to build that rail line. And people now said, listen, you are from Eastern Nigeria. You're the former governor of that place. Everybody rules the terrible state of the road to that place. You are the minister constructing trains, rail line, China, this and that. Why not make that your model project? Something that will ensure that linking the east, the south, linking the linking the south, let me say the west to linking them with the east, then the east to the delta. Why not make that your main project? And it was like, I remember sharing the video with you. He came out here to rubbish that idea. He said China won't borrow you money to go and build rail line within Nigeria. That's what I saw from that, what he said. He said China will only borrow them. In fact, it's not even China, by the way. He said the European wherever will not borrow them the money. They won't give them the money if it was meant for that. A minister of transportation in Nigeria. His other legacy was that Nigeria needs to have a university that is training people how to drive train, how to repair train, and the rest of that. Great idea. Where should that go to? Daura. So they decided to start a University of Transportation in Daura. These are what he personally felt will change the lives of Nigerians within Nigeria as a minister for the past 6 years. But it's so convenient now that more Nigerians are poorer. And we can, being poorer in Nigeria is relative now because we can tell why. Nigeria is a place where locally, farming, trading, and all these things are the little ingredients that makes the bigger part of the economy base of Nigeria. Farmers who do small farming, those who do big farmings, those who specialize in the particular crop and the rest of them. Since the start of all this terrorism, this particular sector has been so badly affected that you can now tell the standard of living, even the cost of living of the people, in the last 6 years alone. You can tell. Now, that those who produces little by little food from those local communities are no longer there. Many of them are dead. Many of them are now living in refugee camps that they called IDP camp. But what is the government doing to curb that? The first decision was to unleash what I call the economic jihad. That was the first thing that Buhari's government did. Shut down the border. Not because they had any plan that they want to secure the border. No, they shut down the border. The terrorists they are holding the people up north. Communities are being ravaged, ransacked. Farms are being destroyed. People are being displaced, killed. Right? So in the down south, as much as communities are also being ransacked and attacked by these same ravaging terrorists, the border that serves as a trading spot for so many people from southern Nigeria got shut down. Why the northern border remained opened, porous as usual. Now, leaving the northern border porous and opened gave us nothing. It didn't bring any economy advantage. It brought in terrorism, death, and all what we are talking about today. Down south, militarization of the south, in the effort of trying to prevent any uprising against this draconian existence, makes the same terror people are experiencing in northern part of Nigeria not so much different from the terrorism people are facing in southern Nigeria. But people kind of feel like, since we are not picking the bodies en masse on the street, we're not picking the, you know what I mean? It's not probably as bad as it is in northern Nigeria, but it's the same trauma. That's an economic jihad that the Buhari's government unleashed. And that has been in place now for the past 2 years. To the point that their military, their custom, they go into people's homes, shoot and kill people because they have a bag of rice that they considered imported. Now, when you now go out there, as much as the government of Buhari continue to devalue the naira, because that's what they do. Every time they take loan, every time they get any loan from anywhere, what they tell them to do is to go and devalue the naira. Because they can be trading with you when you have nothing to give back other than just to take. And for 6 years, ladies and gentlemen, they skyrocketed Nigeria's foreign debt, right? From from $13.5 billion. These criminals, they jumped that to over $40 billion as we speak. And they are not done. They are not done. As we speak, they just got an approval to take another 21-point-something billion loan in this 2022 that you are going to go into. All these decisions, the valuation of the naira, where even if you put the money in your pocket, it's lost it's lost all its value. 1 million naira in your pocket 6 years ago, 7 years ago, let's use 6 years ago, 2015. 1 million naira in 2015 will probably give you something like $4,000. But today, 1 million naira in your pocket will probably just give you how much? $2,000 maybe. So that means your 1 million naira has depreciated enough, and you won't know. If you have it there, right there in the bank, and you are reading the numbers, you may be encouraging yourself that you've got something. Take it out and go out there and check the value of that 1 million naira. And that is where you will meet your shock. It's going to get worse as you move into 2022. Who should be responsible for that? There are effects. There are effects of all these decisions, economically and what have you. And you don't need any specialist to make you understand them. You see, when they choose to pardon terrorists, rather than set examples, unleash hell on them as they have unleashed hell on Nigerians. Because as you see them kidnapping traders, kidnapping school children, kidnapping this and that, at a point they killed over 110 farmers in a single day in Borno, rice growing farmers. They slaughtered them, right? You see, every time this happened, that is your economic fabric being attacked. Right? Instead of unleashing hell on them, the government opened the negotiation door for them. What is the negotiation door? They call it Operation Safe Corridor. Safe Corridor means if you are arrested or you surrender and you say you have repented, you will be let go. You will be rehabilitated. There was no certain examples. The victims continue to be victims, and the attacks continue to escalate. Now, that effort shows to you, right, that the ripple effect of that is the hardship you are currently witnessing. That cannot be blamed on the people who are no longer there to make those decisions. There was never a time in the record of PDP. There was never a time in the record of Goodluck Jonathan, the weakest, the one they said was weak. Yeah, there was never a time in his government that he pardoned terrorists. Let that be on record. There was never a time. And if these guys were supposed to be doing the right thing, by the way, in your interest, yeah, those they consider to have committed any crime against Nigeria should never have received any kind of negotiation deal whatsoever, especially those who committed economic crime. Economic crime brought Nigeria to our knees. But because what they are coming to do is worse than what they were condemning. Look at it today. So the hardship is deliberate. The actors who made this happen, they are indeed, they have names. And Amaechi is one of them. Where is Fashola? He became a minister of power. How far with the power in Nigeria today? How far with your electricity? He bragged about building best road in Lagos, and the survey shows that 80% of roads in Lagos State are never motorable. They will never be motorable, especially because the criminals in charge in the last 22 years, they are still the ones in charge. What's the reflection of their supposed change? But it's so convenient. Oh, the thieves. If you catch thieves, you prosecute thieves. You don't protect them. In Nigeria, those they told you are thieves, and those they continue to deviate us, they are still what? They are still their friends. Who is then the fool? Those of you who believe them. And that's exactly what I want you to take on today. If Nigeria was to be a working country, I can give you the list. All these guys are not supposed to be working men. They were supposed to be in jail. That's exactly what it should be. And I know what I'm saying. Thieves may be probing thieves. From what they find out, we get to see the facts. This same Amaechi, God knows whatever it is doing this for, right? This same Amaechi was indicted by Werewike in Rivers State. He was indicted of corruption. There's a white paper on him. But Buhari's government that is fighting corruption, you know what I'm talking about? We never touch him. It's a mockery. It's a complete mockery of the whole thing. So when they choose to do or not to do something, there are going to be effects. Imagine this for a minute. If they really love Nigeria, genuinely now, and they decided that Amaechi and others, and they decided, okay, you know what? We want to end poverty by giving people real job, economic power. For example, me, Amaechi, I want to build 1,000-kilometer rail line that will cut across back and forth to the heartland of Ijoland, right there in the heartland of Otuoke. Go and let the train turn back from there and begin to come back south and link up with another train or line that goes up north. As a legacy, 8 solid years as a minister of transportation, right? Imagine that for a minute, that you wake up and you realize that Lagos, Shagamu, Benin Ore expressway going to the eastern Nigeria is not the only option you have anymore. You can actually jump on a fast train, a fast passenger train, including some fast freight that carries heavy bulky loads, trucks, things that should completely not be on the road to keep the lifespan of your road better or longer. Somebody can have that initiative. I don't think it takes a rocket science to do the same idea to build almost 1,000 over 100 kilometers of rail line from Kano or from Maradi to Kano that gives no economic advantage to any Nigerian, other than it will probably, since the border is porous, they don't need to use Rakumi, they don't need to use Kete or what have you to cross anymore. They will just jump on your train. If they are tired of the train, they will blow it up. And your $4.9 billion, boom, and the rest of you will have to pay. Remember, when they take loan, they devalue your naira. When they devalue your naira, they devalue your own, they devalue your humanity. That's what happens. Imagine working same job you are doing in Nigeria, right? You are a teacher, a reputable, very good teacher. and you get paid 45,000 naira a month because you are a senior teacher. That same teaching job, right, is what somebody here will get paid maybe 2,000 pounds. Now, 2,000 pounds is money. 45,000 naira is money. They all have their value, even though you have the same job. Now, whenever your government goes out there to borrow money, what they tell them is that your 1 naira cannot be equal to $1 if we are borrowing you money. So it simply means if you want $1 from us, we need 550 naira from you. They can decide what it will be. Now, you are getting paid 45,000 naira. Your colleague in the UK is getting paid 2,000 pounds. You spend naira, we spend pounds. Your 45,000 naira is what you have to pay your rent from. So let's say you are a teacher and you are living in a flat. How much do you think your rent will be if you break it down to month by month? Let's say you are paying 150,000 naira a year. Some said that's a cheap one, Mayegun. But let's start with that. Something practicable now. 45,000 naira, or let's even say you are collecting 100,000 naira as a teacher. Mayegun teachers know they collect 100,000 a year. Let's say 100,000 naira, a teacher, and you're living in a small flat with your family. How much do you think you will break 150,000 naira to spread over a year, 12 months? You'll probably be looking at something around, let's see, 20, how much? 25,000 naira. So you take that out of your 100,000 naira. Let's say you have 2 kids and they are in school. So by the time you begin to check what your 100,000 naira would do for you in Nigeria, which continue to dwindle every day, people will tell you they still get paid 100,000 that they were being paid 3-4 years ago. Some will tell you, I have actually gotten a promotion. My salary is now 200,000 naira. Yeah? But what they didn't tell you is that your 200,000 naira salary increase, yeah, is only a 4% quarter of its value in the truest sense of it. So when you now go out there and you realize that what you need to buy for your children, what you need to buy to keep on for a whole month, and every other bill that comes with that, they are no longer what they are. In fact, you've got a raise, but you are completely done for. That's the life many are living. That is what they do to you, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse because these guys are not doing anything to create wealth, to create jobs, to create opportunities that can indeed help and boost the economy. On the other hand, the insecurity in that country, which they orchestrated, by the way, and they managed to escalate as well, they've turned it into a business. And as you cannot see, a giant Nigeria cannot protect our citizens from some ragtag Islamist religious criminals. So pair both, and you will understand that now when you look at the insecurity as well and the damages that one is doing behind the scene, yeah, you don't need the soothsayer. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you what the end result will be, other than poverty, and more poverty. So if they build a rail line that operates, do you get what I mean now? God bless you, JB. So I don't know if that's what I just told you now is a little bit practical in a layman way. So you have the money. In fact, you are going to have the money for those who are going to have it. Majority won't. But when you now take that money out there and you value it, because you see that your teacher, that's what I should complete. Your colleague who is a teacher collecting 2,000 pounds a month after paying tax and doing all of that, maybe take home 1,600 pounds. Now, apart from the fact that that teacher is guaranteed of a pension or his pension at the end of the day. You see that 1,600 pounds, that teacher can have a normal family of 5, 3 kids, his wife, who probably works elsewhere as well, bringing in an income of maybe another 1,500 or even 2,000 pounds. Now, in that household, yeah, when they pay rent, there's possibility that their rent, because of the size of the family, their rent may be between 800 and 1,500 pounds. Now, that sounds alarming. Wow, what else is going to be for them? There are other things in cover for them that will also make sure that, number one, if the two of them are working, that's why that can be, or if they have this high taste for this porch, you know. But if it was to me, head of in this Scotland, you can possibly get a very comfortable 5-bedroom house for £1,000, and it will still be like porch, solid. Now, if you have an household income of £3,000, 2 family working, in this regard, they will live a comfortable life. They won't have to worry about, number one, the school fees for their children. They won't have to worry from their salary that what if one of them falls sick and they have to use all their savings to try to save them because there's no health care. They won't have to worry about that. They won't have to worry about so many things that their money would have ordinarily just gone into. Somehow, they may possibly start saving. In fact, they may even have their own mortgage. Mostly, they will have their own mortgage, which makes mortgage actually makes what they pay out every month, in fact, very low. I don't know how I missed that. Maybe because I've not experienced a mortgage yet. A teacher in the UK may have his own mortgage. In that regard, they may not even be paying out more than £500, £400 a month. From that little money, they will be able to live a standard life that some of you will see that a teacher can afford to take his or her family on holiday, to make them feel like they exist. And there's always a safety net. If anything goes wrong, yeah, there's always a safety net, something that can hold you together, that an Armageddon will not happen to you overnight. In that regard, it somehow kind of cuts down anything about corruption, where people need to fill in the gap. As the economy goes bad and worse, people's take home can no longer take them home. So you know why this arrived? I mean, with how you got here is because those who promised to end the hemorrhaging, they actually turned it into a business, and people are now dying in their droves. An election is almost coming, and they are about to turn saint again. So they're about to tell you, Jonathan this, Jonathan that, or they are already telling you. But I want you to look beyond the surface of those lies when we tell you they are all in the same cahoot. Now, Jonathan has never been invited or questioned for all of the things they have accused him of. That makes me wonder that if you indeed love Nigeria enough, just like during the Dasuki's time, right? They said Dasuki collected $2 billion. Yeah. Dasuki stole or plundered over $2 billion. And therefore, he was arrested. And all the people that collected money from Dasuki, who is not loyal to APC, they were all arrested at the same time, making it look like if you fa guru, guru go fa igbo. Sorry if you don't understand that. Yorubas has a saying that if taba fa guru, guru ma fa igbo. You see that's kind of a snaky plant that always grow long in the forest. They are always kind of, you know what I mean? Some of you know as I do my hand there. This one. That if you now cut from the root and you decide to pull the long ropey plant, yeah, because it's ropey, snaky, it's probably going to be, for the rest of the forest, yeah. So when you pull it, it's going to pull the entire forest. So we thought when they picked up Dasuki, security advisor to Jonathan, when they picked up Olisametu, the PDP PRO, or what do you call it, publicity secretary, when they picked up Femi Foni Kayode, the contractor, Elenu Jawaya, that collected over 500 million as well. When they picked up Chief Olufalaye, our supposed Yoruba first president that Yorubas indeed voted for when we wanted to return to democracy in 1999, but Obasanjo became the president because the North said he was going to be the president, so our vote didn't count. Baba Olufalaye also collected from the Roja. They picked him up. They picked up Musili Obanekoro. They picked up Ayofayoshe. They picked up a lot of people who collected money from Dasuki, but they did not pick up Goodluck Jonathan, the man that authorized the payment. Why? It's been 6 years. Dasuki did prison. In wife, they get belle, they give birth. By the time Dasuki was finally released by Buhari before 2019, the naming ceremony they did 2 weeks after that. And that was how the whole arrangement went. The whole noise went. Because the money they said Dasuki was sharing is the same security money that was supposed to be managed by Muguno, the current security advisor to Buhari, and is part of their own internal wahala. The Muguno is not trusted with the security money. Imagine a president having up to $2 billion for security votes in Nigeria. The more Nigeria is insecure, the more the terrorism, the more the insecurity, the more money that goes into security votes for the president, and you will never know how much. But they gave us an idea, but some of you didn't get the hint. Dasuki was security advisor to Jonathan. The money that Dasuki was sharing to the political parties, to all the political parties, including PDP, during the 2015 election, the money was the security vote money that they said president and public officials, governors, they don't account for them. It is a sharing money, free money. $2 billion, over $2 billion was what it was with Dasuki. And guess what? Among those who collected money from Dasuki, yeah, is also the same Bokuwari, the lifeless breeding mannequin. You know the story now. When when Buhari became the presidential candidate of APC in December 2014, and I think it was around January of 2015, and his convoy got attacked. I think, where was that again? I can't remember specifically. I think it was in Kaduna. He was driving in convoy, and then Boko Haram attacked his convoy. Boom, boom, boom. They bombed, they did everything. Then he came out. He came out of that attack, and they showed him in a video, and he was walking. He saw the cars in his convoy blown up. This one blown up, and then the terrorists have run away. Buhari came down from his car, and he walked. As he was walking, then some people sighted him, and they said, "Sai Megida, Sai Megida, Sai Megida, Sai Megida." They saw it was Buhari. It turned to a campaign. A lot of people ran out. That attack got Buhari $300,000 from Dasuki and 2 bulletproof SUV vehicle. 2 SUV, that is all these bulletproof jeeps. Because that attack, according to Jonathan, they will say it was Jonathan who wanted to kill him. Dasuki must provide security for him. $300,000 cash. 2 bulletproof jeep. Buhari did not deny receiving the jeep. He said, as a former president, he deserved protection. Well, but in Nigeria, as a former terrorist, they all got the protection anyway. What about the $300,000? No, he didn't collect any dime from Dasuki. But they said, okay, now go and probe Dasuki, because Dasuki said he only has 1 star witness. That if Buhari indeed want to fight corruption or fight him because of that, he only has 1 star witness. Who is that star witness? Goodluck Jonathan. Since they couldn't do anything about that, God knows the arrangement, the America, UK, and China, and the rest of them. God knows the arrangement they had with Buhari and Jonathan, that it will never be touched. All his, all his wife's assets, they will be left untouched, right? Since that is a stall, a stall, Dasuki has to go. So they had to go. They released Dasuki. As we speak, Dasuki is with his wife. The 2 billion story and the rest of that, gone. And for those who got rewarded for it too, including Buratai the butcher, where did that leave you? It left you in the hands of terrorists who now dictate when they should have their peace, or peace meeting or not peace meeting. Are you with me? So you see, all of this contributed to where you are now. And the fact that the utterances like this from people who don't want to take responsibility for anything, utterances from them like this even makes things even worse. Because for those who are smart enough, you probably will think, do these guys think we are actually stupid enough to believe all the trash? Of course, they know we are not stupid enough. And that is why they call people like us trouble. These people are trouble. They are trouble. They are problem. Why is it every time you must criticize? We say them openly so that people who read them as just news, who have no idea the consequences of all those things and the irresponsibility of those who make those statements. Those statements are statements that have cost lives, destroyed dreams. People have died in the Sahara Desert. They are looking for opportunities, the same opportunities that these lives continue to deny them. So there are consequences for all these actions. Obviously, there will always be consequences for all these actions. Now, if you don't think about consequences of actions and you are among those who believe that let's move on, don't be a revisionist. Well, listen, you will continue to make the same mistake again and again, and these clowns will continue to be your entertainers. They will continue to be those who have ideas, the same idea that brought you nothing but poverty and death. So when you see teams who says, bring them down, end this, enough is enough, yeah? And as we popularly say, they are those who brought us here. They can never be part of those who will take us out of here. So you need people to understand that doing the same thing again and again is nothing but the symptom of insanity. So revisionism, being a revisionist sometimes is good in this case. We have people who suffer what is called the Stockholm syndrome. Let me show you something. For some of you who probably will be interested. If you are looking for the legacy, I caught this, and it happened to be from the Niger Delta, something that you can possibly say, is this a legacy? Especially from the oil-rich region, the golden goose that lays the golden egg that makes Nigeria lose golden the surface, but rotten from within. This is Niger Delta.
I think I'll go miss. Mpa. Dale kwenda kutra bwana banyo. Che. Obandoma. Che, le kwa ka ufi api o. Obe, manle. Le kwenda pepper. Uza le kwenda mande hanga channel. Chineke gwa se uza adịghị mma ha kwe ọbụla ji ha gachi n'elu legoro ndị ụzọ adịghị mma even a ga-adọzi ọdọ Chineke mee wee tikwanụ ọ ga-abacha onye ọbụla ọ ga-abacha unu lekwa ha ga-adọ chi na ọgwụgwọ n'ụsọ ụzọ adịghị mma ha ta ahụhụ Chineke legoro ihe na-ebe ha nọ na anyị ụzọ aba were n'ụwa ọ ga-abacha unu were nwayọ ma ndị ha ngịchara n'elu ka ahịa a nwekwa ike iru gọọmenti run na ụzọ work road for us look at madam nwayọ
you stand there, the train dey go.
Nalekpono tana hapana mo. Anyo ebe na no bi shimmiri. Onye mlekpono Chineke. Acha ebe ihe unu.
So, scrap. There is another one I actually want to share too. Let me show you that before we continue.
Yes, this is Romi train station. The train has just arrived. This one is heading to Warri now. People are about to alight, and some of the passengers that are going to Warri are entering now. They want to go to Warri.
Let's go. Oh, Bafana. How about this? Oh, yeah, let's go. How far?
I am alright. Sorry, mate time.
Talking about legacy. The people who represent this part of southern Nigeria in every strata, they'll tell you to manage it as a scrap that they won't let the world see. The lie, they won't let the world see, except for the fraud that they can easily display, just like 419 would do, something flashy enough. Then they pass the blame. Those are the trains that looks like all these coal trains in the desert of America. Those trains that they used to pack coals, stones, and they're always there running 24/7 like that. That's what they look like. Those are the passenger train that runs in the creeks of Niger Delta from Igbo land down to Niger Delta as we speak. But would you blame anyone other than those who believe that that's the best they deserve? And that's why the likes of Amaechi and co, right? They should be in jail. Trust me, they should be in jail, including Buhari. And I can give you all of their sins and what they are and why they should be in jail. Amaechi himself said it. He said if Nigerians decide to stone them, all of them will have to run away. But Nigerians, once they see police, they will run. But the day Nigerians decide that enough is enough, that day, all of them will run. And she would ask, are you going to run? I said, you too, you will run. Everybody will run. But Nigerians, once they hear gun, they will run away. But he knows personally that there's going to be a time. And that time is so close. Let me tell you something. Characters like this, there are many. I have given you so many names in this broadcast this evening. I'm sorry if you are just joining us, right? You can watch it all over again. And you'll probably get along easily. Yeah? I've given so many names. I've given so many instances. I've given so many histories. I've added so many, events to let you know that the characters like this, if they don't end up in jail, trust me, like Nnamdi Kanu said, that by the time he is done, every corrupt politicians in Nigeria will either end up dead or they will end up in jail. I have held on to that statement since then. Are you with me? So if you are in 2021 and you are among those who believe that it is the failure of Jonathan or PDP in 2015 that is still affecting you or keeping you poor till today, apart from telling you that you deserve Buhari, yeah, I'm just going to tell you that, I hope this scam clears from your eyes early enough to see the real criminals holding the knives, holding the axe, waiting to, dangling the axe and what have you, waiting to your head. So like last night, I'm going to open the line, okay, for those who didn't have the chance of calling in last night. So if you're watching me, check your screen. First, let's take a minute, right, before we take any calls. Give me a moment. So let's take a minute before we take any calls, right? If you're watching me on YouTube, let's take a moment to click like on that video. Just like the video. I mean, if you have spent so much time with me tonight, right? You can spend a minute to ensure that you register that. So we have about almost 1,000 of us on YouTube. So if 200 people are those who quite thumbed up, then what happened to the remaining 800 people? You can make that count. Take your time, and then the line is opened now. Okay, check your screen. That's and it's actually WhatsApp call only. Okay, don't try to call the number directly. You will never get through. So I think I have my first caller. Hello. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Sorry. Who is talking? I mean, who is on the line? Your name, please.
Yeah, my name is Michael. Am I live?
You are live, yes.
Okay.
Did you say Michael?
I just want to say, yeah.
How are you, Michael?
I'm fine.
Great. So you are live, please. Make it brief, and we are all listening.
I just want to say, you're doing a great job, bro.
Thanks, man.
Keep it up. I don't know where you draw your strength. Just keep it up, bro.
I will. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.
A good one, which is a thank you call. It's somehow a good way to start too. So thanks to everyone too. Hello.
Hello, my good general.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir? It's Gabriel.
I am very well, sir. I'm very well. Your name?
Gabriel Agbontain, calling from London.
Gabriel, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah. We're good. And you?
I'm very well. Thanks for asking, man. Thank you. So you're live, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Thank you. First of all, I want to just appreciate the work you're doing because I think this is the only way forward. You know, I remember the broadcast we did yesterday. You know, the caption was the makeup for, and you know, they were something like that
to fight.
Yeah. 2 weeks. Yeah. It's a good caption, but to be honest with you, we are the people that make ourselves. We put ourselves in that position. You know, one thing I've observed is that as Nigerians, there is a tendency of everybody wants to oppress in the so easy way. So it's like you always said, it's turn by turn system.
Nigeria limited.
You know, some people who are not coming out, they are waiting to get to their turn.
That's right.
You know, our loyalty is not with truth and justice. Our loyalty is with what we can get from the system. That's why we are where we are, and all of us, myself included, we all have the place until we change our mindset. Like what you're doing now, try to go, you know, it's like a gospel. We just have to continue, you know. So the same thing we're doing in Revolution now, and take it back to sensitize people. So let them know.
Some said, Gabi. Some said that the first revolution we need is the revolution of the mind. Before we have any physical revolution, people's minds must be liberated first. People must know why they want to fight for something. And then if it's worth it, once their minds are liberated enough, the rest of the job is done. Do you believe that?
The rest of the job is done. Anything that controls your mind controls you. So that is my short point. Once again, I just appreciate what you do and keep it up.
I will. Thank you so much, Gabriel. Thank you so much. You have a good evening. I hope you are still watching, by the way. Thanks, man.
Yeah, we are.
Class. So that's a very good one from Gabriel there. And indeed, revolution of the mind is what we are doing now. Some said it takes time. But guess what? Some also told me that it's working. Many people are interested in conversations like this now. Some are even doing researches on their own to further broaden their understanding of why things are like this. And to them, I am just like, a window into them. I mean, a window into discovery, where many people feels like, through Mayegun, I can discover a lot, even on my own. The capacity, the ability to be able to think outside the box from the general perception or general belief is what makes this program quite different. And people have told me that too. Hello.
Hello, Mayegun, the general.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good evening and Merry Xmas. It's me, Magic Fit again. It's been a while.
Fantastic, man. Thank you so much for calling. So, give me that name again for the record.
Magic Feed from Spain.
Magic Feed. Bless you. Now, you are live, sir.
Good. You've just said it like the last caller said. It is revolution of the mind first. When the people understand what they are fighting for, they will go along with you. You've spoken the minds of more than how many people do you think are not buying what you are saying? Everybody understood what you are saying, but they are finding it difficult to queue, to know what actually they want to fight for. Mayegu, you've done a lot. God will bless you.
Amen.
God will bless you.
Amen.
It is the revolution of the mind first before the main revolution.
I believe
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that. It seems that I eat a kind of a big point that people will agree with. We need to revolutionize our mind. Hello.
Thank you so much.
Hello there. You are live. If you can listen to your phone, please.
Hello?
Hi. Yeah. You know what? Listen to the phone. Don't listen to the broadcast anymore. Okay. It's me and you and the rest of the world now. Okay.
Okay, yeah. You hear me?
Great. So your name, please, because you are live.
Sorry. Okay. So now I can hear you properly. So this is David calling from London.
David, how are you?
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. So, David, you are live. Everyone is listening.
Okay, Mr. Maigo, I literally want to say you're doing an amazing job. I mean, I've been a fan of your show, but it was just like recently I've been following for a while, and I want to say for what you're doing, not only for the modern generation, but also for the younger ones, like, you know, because we're looking for a better Africa where we can all say one day we all going back home and we'll all be happy to, like, you know, stay in our mother's land without any problem. You know, but for now, it's like the way we're following everything, we don't have a home yet, and we want to have a home one day. And with people like you, we believe we can have that. You know, number two, I'm actually calling based on yesterday's situation where you're calling Oshibajo and talking about, like, literally, you know, all this politics that's going on. Because
that's a Jude you are referring to. Our caller who was telling us to see it the other way about Oshibajo. Is that what you mean?
Yes, that one, yeah.
So what's your view on that? You want to say something?
So one thing I was going to say is, you know, when it comes to men of God and politics, I actually don't understand what actually pushed them to, you know, say they want to go into politics in the first place. Because, you know, when men of God start living their way, when you read the scriptures, you know, literally Jesus did away from anything politics. And when men of God start going, say, oh, they want to be part of this with him and that with him, you've already lost your focus, number one. And number two, you know, you have to understand, like, Oshibajo is the son of the house, you know. I mean, with due respect to all redeemed members, but, like, Pastor Adeboye is very connected with all this press. Name any president that would with him. You know, in the times of Goodluck, Jonathan, Buhari itself, you know, all this kind of, and they don't go there without donating some offering. And, you know, and now you can't collect my money, Mr. Mike, and tomorrow you come back, you
and
say
you
want to
get one big mouth. It doesn't work that way. You're right.
Exactly. So when Yoruba Nation is coming and Biafra is coming and you are surprised they are not talking, why are we there for? Like, what do you have to say? You know, because you're eating literally from this, and there's no way you will be able to, like, on the water bar, like your Kimbo or something like that. So you understand what I mean?
Don't do your
and number yeah, we have a popular pastor in the UK that literally donated to Lagos State government to their politics. Like, why? Why? What's the point? Like, you leave the church of you leave the work of the Lord. There are people on the street which are literally, they don't even have food. There are how many homeless people in the UK, in Scotland, in Bristol, in Manchester? You don't donate to those, so you went to politics in Nigeria to go. Like, we all know that you all.
Is that not what they all build? You know.
You know. So, and at the end of the day, you understand there are so many pastors in Nigeria, and you look at the amount of connections they have, the amount of land, and their influence is zero.
So it's like everybody, like know what they are looking for. Everybody is getting their own percentage. There are people that actually don't want Nigeria to work.
Of course.
There are people like you that really want it to work, but there are people that are eating from it. Go to YouTube. There's a documentary recently that one man shoot. It was about the Black House in Nigeria.
Did you see
Look
that?
how
Did
many
you see that documentary
that
too? Did you?
Yes.
It was nothing so new, but when you watch it, it brings back some memory, especially many people who have passed through the education system in Nigeria, those who have witnessed the real, court crisis in their neighborhood growing up. That video brought back some.
I will recommend all the viewers to watch that video. These people are in politics. They are in power. They allocated 80 ballots of position to court members, and you expect such a country to move forward. How? There is so many problems. Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. So thank you, Moni. I said thank you so much for calling in. So let me take another call too, David. All right. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Mr. Maidon. Keep up the great work. You're inspiring the next generation. Thank you very much.
Bless you, man. Thank you so much too. So let me take this. I have another caller. Hello.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, you got me, man. You did. So your name, please.
Okay. My name is David from Texas.
Oh, David. How are you today, man?
Good, bro.
Class.
And compliment of the season, and wish you well for the new year coming up soon.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for the great job you've been doing. Yeah. Thanks, well, you know what? Sometimes, I believe that you guys are speaking out like you guys are doing the social media work. You've been guided by spirit, but you guys don't know. Something coming to you this mind that you say it, say it as it is. Sometimes it's the truth. If you were back home now, you could turn it to be a church, and people will start following you. But it's like, man, I'm a good student of you and Mazen and Kano.
Thank you.
See, it's very, very hard to teach a black man something. It is very, very. Now I realize that. And you see, the thing is a state of mind. It is true. This your topic for today is true. And that is why they took Nnamdi Kanu out.
That's right.
Because he already got into the skin of the Igbo people. Now the Igbo people know the reason why they are human beings, and they are not going out there to fight for it. They can die for it. But you see, I know my MNK has a kind of doctrine he does. People think he's harsh, but he was the one that God sent to preach into people's mind, so they will know what they're fighting for. So, but like if I say the Southwest, if I don't want to go but let's say the truth as it is. In the Southwest, the Southwest always believe that being enlightened is what will get you your freedom. Enlightenment doesn't give you your freedom. You have to behave like a barbaric to do it. The white people did it in their own times. Even in America where we are, they refused the British law. They came here, they were killing themselves. They killed people. They killed the whole Indians there to be freed. You see, when the people start knowing why they are Nigerian, why they are human beings, honestly, and they see when they took the Kano out.
The purpose. When people start finding their purpose. And that's why we have the likes of MNK, who make people understand or be able to trace their purpose. And they found it easier.
Yeah, and they get angry, when they see the government talking to them. That is what we need in the whole South. People, they really planned how to, and it was the British that planned to take Nnamdi Kanu out. So that doctrine is already coming into the Southwest, and they stopped him. Because if they hadn't stopped him, when people start getting angry, why will I be living here for over 30 years? I have no light. I have no good education. I have no good free healthcare. Nothing. You do know that those people don't really know what you're talking about because they haven't felt it in their lifetime.
You are right.
They have not felt it.
You are right.
So when you're telling them all these things, they keep telling you that you are going over their culture. We don't have to ask for too much. The topic, I hope the day we were going to wake up. But these people have punished us so much that We can't see that freedom in our own generation, and that is so painful. But I know this generation coming up knew that we fought for them. We spoke everything. It's left for them to come out and change it. It's left for them to come out and change it. Maego, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Love you so much. Love you and MNK. You guys are doing the spiritual work.
Thank you. God bless
you. And God bless you.
And stay safe. Yeah. Nice one. Right. Thank you so much. So I have another caller. I love what David said there, by the way. Just my caller, please, sir. A moment, please. Just a second. I love what David said there, that it is painful that when you reason it very well, when you look at things critically and you realize that that change, that difference we want to see, our generation may not see it. It's sad. But on the other hand, somehow the next generation after us will probably see that we did our best too. But again, we will not give up until we can, until we stop breathing. So, hello there.
Oh, hello, General Mayegon.
How are you today?
I'm blessed, thank you. Compliment of the season to you.
Same to you, man. How are you? And then your name again, by the way, for the record.
Akinola calling from Kent, UK.
Akinola from Kent. Amazing. Now you are live.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's a quick one. I'm just going to summarize what I'm going to say, basically.
Please.
Number one, I think I like the way you're one of the leading bloggers, you know, in the social media.
Really?
And I think I like it. Yeah, you're the leading one, in my opinion, in my view.
In your own list. I'm glad. I'm grateful for that. Go on.
Absolutely. I would like you to keep it on.
Thank you.
To keep that on. Yeah, that's one. Then, secondly, you're doing a great stuff in terms of information dissemination, which is fantastic. That's two. Secondly, thirdly, I like the way you're trying to meet with other bloggers like Koiki. It's great. I think we would like to see more of that.
Sure. And
you have some questioning time, which is quite good. You did that one time ago. I can't remember. Maybe it's you or somebody else. Yeah. But your program takes different formats, which is great. So that's another one. And I like the focus that you give to issue of Biafra. Yeah, it's very important because you try to promote, in as much as people might not necessarily see that. It is very important people understand that Biafra and Oduduwa, we have a lot in common. It's because we don't understand that history. You see, the language itself, they have so much. You see, a Biafra man we call Onu, which stands for mouth. And in Yoruba language is Enu, which is mouth. And I tell you that a lot of different names
do you know
in Biafra land.
Akiola, you know something?
Yes.
I'm part of what I'm planning to work on is the all this kind of a comparison, all this things that shows our similarity all across board, not just about the language. So many other things, practicable things that you bring them to peer, and people will see them first, and they'll be able to relate with them. I love what you are saying.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's really true. It's because they don't teach us history very much in school. In fact, Yoruba people and Biafra, we must have come from the same stream of ancestor. If you look at people that they call Inri and the traditional people from Ife that are ruling in Ife, in Ife we have two Onis from two family groups. If you look at the scarring on their face, it's similar for people who are from Biafra in the holding generation. Their faces are also scared as well, just like in Yoruba land. And people don't really understand that we're very similar. Anyway, I won't keep you. I know you have some other colors.
I get it.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care now.
I will. Thanks so much, Akinola. And that's a brilliant one. I love that people who use research, facts sometimes because it helps. It helps you or gives you a sort of a keyword when you are researching into things. Keywords from what you said. For those who probably crop that part, crop it out, study it. There's a lot I'm also going to be working on myself in that regard. It's for educational purposes. And I love what you said about peering. Peering is good. All right, it brings out the other side of your favorite presenter or blogger or vlogger or YouTuber, as you would like to call it. Yeah, peering is good. Talking to other people on different topics and discussions and all that. I would love to have that, But coronavirus has made the appearing just limited to connecting people through, through the broadcasting. Not like I could just walk through and just sit down and do this peering, but we'll get there. I have another caller. We've got about 20 minutes to go, by the way. I'll take this call. Hello.
Hey, Mayegun General.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing today?
I am very well. Thank you so much for asking. Yourself?
I'm doing very great too.
Class.
My name is Tunde, calling from Texas again.
Tunde from Texas. It's good to have you back.
Yeah,
I know you were on yesterday, and good. Please fire on, sir.
Yes. Today, very quickly, I just want to chip in this on the issue of revolution of the mind. It is important for us to identify the real stronghold that has actually been working against the thinking of the people, and the reason why reactions of the people to the ill treatment we are getting from the political class, why it has taken this long, and why it may take a little longer for us to continue to do work on revolutionizing the mind. The actual stronghold is the religious leaders. The religious leaders and the political class, they are partners. The political class, they bruise the people, and then the religious people, they calm the people down. The religious leaders, they calm the people down through false hope. False hope, selling the ideas to them that, look, calm down, God is able to do everything. Just pray. This idea is a reason why many people are in captivity today in Nigeria. The religious partners in this crime, what they do is to calm the people down, sell false hope to them, and people believe them. Forgetting that the political class who are actually bruising them and the religious leaders are saying, don't respond this way, the battle is the Lord's. The battle is not for you, but the battle is the Lord's. And the people, they will leave the battle for the Lord. Even when God expects them to rise up and speak against their oppressors. So they continue to wait for God to speak for them, even when He has put the words in their mouth. So that is a major stronghold that we need to focus on as we begin to revolutionize the minds of the people. It is where we never do most of the problems we have on ground. Don't tell yourself it is well with my soul. You can continue to say that for a million years, and you will realize that the situation is getting worse day by day.
It's not well.
So the religious leader is a major partner in the trial. So, and at the end of the day, the political class have stolen the money and they go to religious functions, congresses and shilos and the like of them. You will now see them sitting on the high table.
Front row.
Right? The masses who are buying the hope, the religious leaders are selling the hope so that they can also get their own, to make their own from the same poor people. And then they are calming them down so that they will never come to a realization that, look, this system, we have to fight against. So as we are revolutionizing the minds of the people, we need to emphasize on what prayer will not do. There are things, prayer is good.
Because God is not magician, Tunde, and we have told people that.
He is not. He is not. How many did I pray to God before I was able to talk to you from Texas to Scotland?
No.
How many fasting and prayer did I do for the telephone to work? That's a system that works. So for me to continue to depend on God that God needs to intervene for me to be able to speak to Mayegun, I will wait forever.
You will have to wait forever. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And that is the thing we need to let our people understand. Because, and that is the reason why when it comes to religious issue, people lose their mind. They say, oh, don't go there. Don't let God be annoyed with you.
That's true.
You see, that is the area we need to work on and liberate our people.
Someone said, Tunde, someone said, when it comes to fighting for God, Nigerians are champion. Yeah. They fight for God. But when it comes to them fighting for themselves, they leave the fight for God.
Yeah.
Ironically.
They leave the fight for God. They defend God.
They fight for God. No, they fight to defend God. But when it's time for them to fight for themselves, they leave the fight for God. God, they leave it for God. It's your turn. Fight for us. Is that not what it is?
Exactly. That is the peak of stupidity, my brother. So, and that is the area we need to continue to work on.
We will.
And let our people be able to know, look, there are things God will do, there are things He will never do.
That's right.
So, if you don't identify what you need to do and you continue to leave it for God, you will wait forever.
You would have to wait forever. Thank you so much.
And that is why they are selling false hope to the people. I used to say that if religion is a business, I think Jesus Christ should be the richest person ever lived. Because people up to today, his name is still selling. It's still a hot cake. But that wasn't the purpose. But in Nigeria, our people are holier than Jesus Christ himself. And that is why on our streets, all this preaching of holiness and whatever does not translate to righteousness on the street. It is a place where chicken eats chicken.
Dog eat dog.
Dog eat dog. Bible, let me allow you to pick on that.
God bless you, my brother. It's been a blockbuster once again. Thank you. You have a good evening today. So that's what it is there for people who probably would like to liberate mind. It's a big job. Somebody once told me, and he said, Mayegun, you see, this mind is a very, very powerful tool. And that's your mind, your thoughts, and everything. He said, if you don't use it right, somebody else can use your mind for their own benefit. And in this case, Nigerians are the good example of that. So I have a caller. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayegun.
How are you, sir? So this is Mayegun, and who am I speaking to, please?
Omo Oko Yoruba, once again.
Omo Oko Yoruba. Omoluabi. I'll stick to that.
Yeah.
You are live, Baba.
I'm calling because the guy that just spoke now. The main bondage don't fit in Yoruba.
Benny.
Because I used to be all this born again church, whatever you want to do in church, I've done it before.
Me too.
Until I dig deep into my own history. They said if you want to write something from a black man, write it in a book in black and white, you will never see it. If you remember, like I said last week, the first Englishman that came down here, his name was Claphanton in 1823. We are reading the history of another country that doesn't concern us at all. Edelede, Ashalasha, Esielesin, Oshioloshi Shekiri. When they got to Yoruba land in 1823, they came to Badagry. Amaro, a follow Pametanino.
Ikiakia.
Claphanton at a ruin, survive. touring through Ilewa. He tracked down to Sokoto. In fact, he had to change his name at the point. And they sold him as a slave. Another England guy, and the comment he gave to them, the summary he gave to them when he got back to England in 1830 was, these Yoruba people, they have warriors. You can't conquer them. You cannot, it is impossible. It is not difficult. They have their culture, they have their language. Kò sí olè nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, kò tẹ̀ sí òṣì. Tí gbogbo wa là ń ṣiṣẹ́ wa. They said until tẹ́ bá lọ da èdè wọn rú, tẹ́ gba àṣà wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn, tẹ́ gba ìṣesí wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn, tẹ́ gba èdè wọn lọ́wọ́ wọn, tẹ́ wá fún wọn lédè. Fún wọn àwọn ni wọ́n aṣọra wọn di ẹrú yìí. I read it in the history of Yoruba. The person that wrote it was Reverend Samuel. It was Reverend Samuel Johnson. That's supposed to be our own Bible. Bible means book. They said only Bible, only book. But because we took it at Rakura, Lawayibu, Ludaye Warudola. And enjoyment time she one or two things. And from my analysis, at the point I went to where they are selling some animals. Later, I'm talking of something like bull. I'm talking of cows.
Wow.
They couldn't move again until Niwa Debe. Later, I want to the animal to move on their own.
Regain their strength.
Yes. No matter how powerful they were, because Okunyati they were let's say they couldn't go again. What by Tony Lower Yi? What bay there? It only turn Tiki Shetty. What Billy Lower in a one repeat here. I want hockey, Kiribi Gala. Ọlọ́run Abrahamu, Ọlọ́run Isaki, Ọlọ́run Jacob. Èwo ló kàn yín pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run yẹn. Ó ti sọ́nù wí yẹn fún yín pé Ọlọ́run Ísírẹ́lì ni. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ wà fún yín ní history yìí, àwọn tó mú yín lẹ́rú ni. Tó Ọlọ́run á gbà yín là, they read that book to condemn you and condemn you to death. Kí wọ́n tó gbé ìwé yẹn dé ọ̀dọ̀ wa. Okay, I can put our new election. We look at me pẹ̀lú ìwé Isaiah. We look at me pẹ̀lú ìwé Jeremiah. We look at me pẹ̀lú ìwé Dáfídì. That's not my history. If you remember last week, I said syncretism. Bringing other people's history over mine. I'm making sure I forget my own history. Now you now lord it over me. You now give me another history that is not my own. And now, Bonsolo last week, we want Judas goat tani to make profit in poverty tiwa. Only we pastors at imams yi to want for any first hope. We alone think it's alone to Yoruba. No what that fun Yoruba. Ọlọ́run Ísírẹ́lì wá ní kì í sùn kì í sinmi. Ọlọ́run Ísírẹ́lì kì í tó gbé. Oh, suddenly, Ọlọ́run Ísírẹ́lì kì í sùn kì í sinmi kì í tó gbé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ni. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Ísírẹ́lì, Ọlọ́run Ísírẹ́lì, ó ti ní rest of mind, ó ti lọ ṣe fàájì ayé ẹ̀. Because go to Israel, go and say you want to go and attack them. They have bomb catcher. They will level your country for you right away. They won't speak English with you.
And they won't now you feel like you're to do that for them.
Fuck the God, fuck the God. Now you and you ẹjẹ́ ìran ogun, ẹjẹ́ ìran aládé, wọ́n gba ìtàn yín lọ́wọ́, ẹ mọ nǹkan tó ní àwọn baba ńlá baba yín ṣe tí wọ́n fi ilẹ̀ yín mú kí ìran Fúlàní má bàa gbà lọ́wọ́ yín. Tẹ́ bá mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin Yorùbá àti Fúlàní ní 1828, 1829, tó ń da Ọ̀yọ́ lé Ọ̀yọ́ Kàtúngàrú. That is Kogi State. Níbi tí Aláàfin Ọ̀rànmíyàn ti jẹ́ Aláàfin nìyẹn. Mélòó ni wọn ló mọ̀? Ọ̀yọ́ tẹ́ ń wò lónìí nísìn, Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin tí bàbá yìí wà. Ilẹ̀ Ìwó ni. Ilẹ̀ Ìwó, àgọ́ ààrẹ ni wọ́n ń pè bẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n torí pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Àtìbà bí ọmọ ọba Ọ̀yọ́ ló ti lọ ṣe àtìpó. Nígbà tí Àtìbà jẹ ọba lẹ́yìn ọba Olúwéwu ni ò lọ sí Kàtúngà mọ́. Ló fi wá sọ àgọ́ yẹn, ló fi wá sọ àgọ́dọ̀yọ́. Ló wá di àgọ́dọ̀yọ́, ló wá sọ di Ọ̀yọ́ ilé. Láti wá ń rí fáà síbẹ̀ yẹn Ọ̀yọ́. Ìwó ló fún Ọ̀yọ́ ní ìlú yẹn nígbà tí wọ́n tú Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ká. Táwọn Fúlàní tú Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ká. Náà wọ́n máa mọ Jerusalem ní Samaria ní Israeli ní all those useless stories that doesn't concern us. We will not be repeating it as if that is our own lineage. And this is the talk of the slave masters that have gone and are still with us till tomorrow. And until you divorce what they use to enslave you, you will be a perpetual slave. They came to you, they gave you a Western education. For you to be a Christian, they will first have to Europeanize you.
That's right.
While they were Europeanizing you, they are turning you to their slaves. They will now teach you what they want you to know, which is what you learn in the Bible. They will now teach you their Western education, how to be their slave. They won't teach you how to reason. They will only teach you to be yes, sir. All right, sir. That's all you learned in school. And see where we have been to. But the first thing, first me.
That's part of, sir, that is part of the liberation of the mind we are talking about. People listening right now, even if some of them disagree, they cannot wish away all the facts you raised now. You get what I mean now?
No,
that's part of the liberation of the mind too.
Fine. For example, when the Philistines took away the ark of God and took it to their land, it became totally destructive. It's like self-destruction. All of history in the land of Philistine was self-destruction. Until they return it back to the owner, even with sacrifice. That was when they had their peace back. Àtijọ́ tẹ̀yìn ti gba Ọlọ́run àjèjì yìí. Àwọn pastor wọn á fi ń ṣe marketing study. Wọ́n ṣe mú Old Testament, wọ́n á mú New Testament. Àti tó kàn yín, àti tí ó kàn yín. Wọ́n á lọ́dẹ̀ lẹ́yìn lọ. Èwo ló kàn mọ́ Yorùbá pẹ̀lú ìwé Málákì tẹ́ ń gbàdá mẹ́wàá lọ́wọ́ mi. Èwo ló kàn mọ́ Yorùbá pẹ̀lú Òkun Pupa tó pín sí méjì. Ṣáwà àti Egypt ṣàtúmọ̀ra ni.
At all.
But this is like, see, make I just try and add one or two things. Okay? There is what we call script. Yeah. They call it Holy Scripture for you. And the main purpose of script is to configure something to be the way you want it to be.
And you hacked it.
And by the time you run a script like on a phone, once they run the script on that phone will be the way they want it to be.
That's right.
And when that script is running out of date, they will ask you to update it again. And that's why those phones are behaving the way they are. They told you all scripture. Right from our kids, they'll be scripting us the way they want it. And as long as we are following what they wrote in those books, we will perpetually be their slaves. There is one journal I came across. God bless Baba Heritage. You know, on the program what it come as a journal. Please go and read it. The name of that journal is Making of a Slave. And I will say it briefly so that others will have chance to come into this program. Making of a Slave. And please give me 2-3 minutes, let me explain it. So that you'll be able to add it.
Yeah, go on.
Fine. Tí ní ìlú kan tó máa rí àwọn kan tí tó máa wọ̀ ìlú kan tó lọ mú wọn lẹ́rú níbẹ̀. Ṣé yẹ yín? Now, ẹ tó bá jẹ́ abẹnugan nínú wọn, bí Sunday Igboho, olóyè wa. Now, àwọn abẹnugan yẹn, wọ́n so lọ́wọ́, wọ́n so lẹ́sẹ̀. Wọ́n wá ní ṣé yóò sọ̀rẹ́ndà bí òní. Tó bá ti lóhùn òní sọ̀rẹ́ndà, wọ́n á so mọ́ àwọn ẹṣin bíi mẹ́rin. Àwọn ẹṣin yẹn máa fàyà níwájú gbogbo àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀. By the time táwọn ẹṣin yẹn bá ti fàyà tán, gbogbo àwọn yòókù tó ní mẹ́rin àti ìjà, wọ́n á domi.
Leave àwọn máa cut ni.
Leave àwọn máa cut immediately. Wọ́n wá nà wọ́n ní iná máa wáyé mọ́. The reason why they wrote that journal was that they were asking themselves, how do you survive? All of them are slave traders. So some of them, our slave woman power. So they were now asking that particular successful one that how do you survive? How do you become successful in this your slave trade? Wọ́n sọ fún wọn pé tóun bá ti wá lọ mú tóun bá ti lọ invade ìlú yẹn, àwọn tó bá rí tó dàbí Sunday Igboho láàrin wọn.
Tó wà vocal.
Yes, wọ́n máa pa wọ́n. And imagine, can you remember látìgbà tí wọ́n ti disrupt the movement àlàyé ṣe gbọ́n nǹkan lẹ́nu Yorùbá mọ́? Bó ṣe rí nìyẹn. Now, after tí wọ́n ti mú wọ́n ti pa olórí wọn yẹn tán, wọ́n wá lu àwọn yòókù. They will not pair a man and a woman, they will not pair them together. Ẹ máa bára yín sùn.
Publicly.
Immediately tó bí yẹn bá ti bí oyún báyìí, ọkùnrin yẹn igbórere kò rí ìyàwó yẹn mọ́ o. A lọ ṣiṣẹ́ kú sínú oko wọn ni. Invariably, eventually, obìnrin yẹn ló máa wá bí ọmọ. Ọmọ yẹn ò ní father figure. Now, nítorí yẹn máa sọ pé ẹ̀yìnbó tó ń wò yìí o gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ sí lẹ́nu o. Tó bá jẹ́ ọkùnrin, you have to be working to be able to do whatever that Igbo man wants you to do. And you should be obedient to him forever is your Lord. Tó bá jẹ́ obìnrin, a sọ fún pé má believe in ẹni ọkùnrin o. O gbọ́dọ̀ lo obedience sí òyìnbó ló lè lo anyhow. And in the process, nobody will tell them their own real history again. By the time they do it, first, second generation like this, third generation,
it's already there.
They will perpetually be the slaves of the Englishman. Now, after they come to our
we
place,
are going to cut it here now. If not, we're going to be here all night. We have been on this for about 15 minutes now. So I'm going to say thank you. Okay. Usually it should be about 3 minutes, but it's been a pleasure all the way. I'll keep the rest for the other day.
Go and look for that journal. Please look for that journal. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. So much grateful. Thank you. I'll take another call. Our time is rounding up. Our 2 hours is almost up. Hopefully, I can. Yeah. Hello there.
Thank you so much for your time. So much. Thank you.
Hey, why you good?
Yes, sir.
It's DJ again. In fact, God bless that guy that just finished.
JJ. Now, JJ, you are going to help me here. See, if I know so many people don't like that, right? If they see somebody giving details, giving something like they don't like me cutting them off. But again, we have to be fair. You know what I mean? It's been like 15 straight minutes.
No. What you did this night, I really enjoy it. And I only call to make my own brief.
Please.
Hey, you know me. Yeah. When I'm not angry, I don't want to. There's some information you don't need to allow it there. Brother. You see, life is funny. And it's a shame for every black man, as Nnamdi Kanu used to say. Black people, I don't know what is wrong with them. They said the river that overflows in presence of you shouldn't be scared of you, or you should be cautious in order not to be scared of that, not for that river not to scare you much. Now, do you remember early 2000 and something when they say Lagos is working, that they used to use a helicopter to parade the Lagos? All the projects around that time, before they told us, oh, you are better past my neighbors, what can put together to generate life for everybody. All those cook and bully lies, the rhetoric that they put on there, hope on APC, Brother, Nigerians don't know that they were entering one chance.
They found out. They are finding out now anyway. I know. You know, they said they always.
No.
JJ, you remember when they said they have a Lagos master plan? That Tinubu have Lagos master plan.
Oh my goodness. That's why I'm remembering you now.
Plan.
You know, we speak in code sometimes. All the projects that were executed that time, none of it was 20% completed. Brother, have you visited Lagos mainland from Agege to Yanopaja to Mina? All those areas, go to Surulere, go to Mushi, go to Ikorodu, go to anywhere in Solo, Ikotun.
Lagos Metro Project that Tinubu started. Metro Project. Where is that?
That is what I'm telling you. Up to today, half of it is dead. Lagos is like a shanty city.
Mega slum.
Oh my goodness. Worse than Kenya. Where all those money, the allocation they were getting that time, where is those money went to?
Down the drain.
Amaechi, who sold Nigeria for 500 billion. In fact, some people are corrupt genius. That's the way I can qualify them. They are corrupt genius.
I think it's the audacity, JJ, is the audacity for me, right? Somebody will steal from you. Then he will take like Elijah Muhammad, he will grab the microphone. And if you give him 20 microphone, within the next 10 minutes, Elijah Muhammad will lie to each microphone. Every 30 seconds, he will lie to each microphone in front of him. And he will be unfazed. Like the audacity, these guys are bold.
Do you know the reason why? That's our brother who speaks early. I spoke the mind of, will give you the answer. Do you know the reason? Brother, look, think about it. Somebody is telling you something like, and as a professional, who's supposed to be boldly challenge these people, sir, what you are saying, I have some part in my hand, it wasn't the same. I'm talking about the media. But the media who have already collected the brown envelope, what do you want make it talk now? They are there on the invitation of brown envelope. Look at one of idiots, that betrayer, the son of a betrayer, who later became a betrayer himself, who went publicly. When they interview him, he said, how dare you ask me that question? Who is bankrolling me? Brother, what do you expect? They are bed of the same feather. It is from the same bowl.
What now saying is that, you, JJ, you as our CIA on the Temple of Truth, you have told us that, Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. The trigger
it will explode. Brother, it will explode. So and with that time will be face to face to my brothers. Face to face to my brothers. You remember I gave you one code. I said the code that can truly change Nigeria is 1983 code.
Our time is rounding up almost all.
1983 code. Then if we don't want to deal with ourselves and we want a quick action, to do this thing, I want to round up now with you. Brother, the code that we have to use is 1979 Iran, whatever. Is it 1979 or 77? When Iran took some action against Jimmy Carter. That is the code that can work in Nigeria. Because once you deal with those people, that kind of code, you go to some centers, located, you bombard those agents who are financing, who are giving them the template. Once you charge into them, they will pack their load and leave. They will remain the owner, the house owner. Then the house owner can deal with themselves thoroughly. That's the best solution, quick. That's it, brother. Let me leave you there so that people can join.
Yeah, people they hear you, and there are people don't hear you. There's something they told me will happen very soon, and I'm so scared every day. I'm reading the news. I'll keep it to myself. JJ, thank you so much for your time. You have a good evening. Okay.
No worry, brother. Thanks.
Nice one, Baba. So yeah, to everyone, I am so sorry that we're going to have to round it up now. Our 2 hours is up. I thought I could pull it off and then spend more than 2 hours, but you know, we have to keep the rest for the next day. So please, if you have the chance of watching this video with me live, it's great. That means you probably saw the notification that Mayegun was live. Now that you have checked, I want you to, so now that you're here, I want you to please check that settings, okay? If you're watching my video on YouTube, check your setting. Yes, you subscribed, or yes, you have your notification on. Check it again if indeed your notification is set on all notifications. Most of the time people miss this, and they always send me messages to say, Mayegun, I don't know why I missed your broadcast. I didn't receive any notification. Well, I want you to please take a look. And the second one is that we've come to the end of the broadcast. Okay, we have come to the end of it. However, take your time. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, leave that chat room for a sec. Okay, go on there and like that video. Just click like. I'm sorry that YouTube has removed the dislike button. If not, I will ask you to click dislike, but it's not going to show up. I say some YouTubers, they get serious, mental health problem because when people dislike their video, it means that they are not good enough. I'm like, maybe they are not Nigerians. If they are from Nigeria, people, they dislike your video, they cry, they consult a therapist. No, I will ask you to, but go on there, thumbprint there, just like the video, share it to every platform you know. When I come back here tomorrow, yeah, or whenever I'm back, I will be able to possibly, yeah, have you here in time. The notification will remind you, all right? And I've told people as well that this program is going to be from 8 p.m., except if we are running late, then it can be half 8 and all of you. 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, same time, but just time difference. And finally, I want to say thank you to every one of you. From day one, we have just about 4 days to go. 3 days, precisely. 3 days to go in 2021. The next 3 days, let's make it count. Share love, show love, and be sincere with those that are sincere with you. Be honest to everyone around you. You may not be doing it for yourself, or you may not know that you are, what you are doing, or the people you are trying to be nice to, if they care, or if they notice or not. Being nice this period, being good this time is mostly for our own good. And you probably will find out later. Remember I said, I'm somebody who actually cares about consequences of every action. This moment, before the wrap of 2021, be good. And then good night from here.
Ani ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ayẹ̀kú.
She said
àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òkúra olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé